In school, we used to have these morning speeches delivered by all students in our morning assembly. Did I say morning in the same sentence twice? Well, ignore my English. I'm talking about childhood, so let the mistakes happen. अब मैंने सोचा यार कितने cool facts हैं यार. मैं ट्रेन आ गई. This is what happens.
Sunbeaming into your life.
In school, we used to have these morning speeches delivered by all the students as a part of our assembly. We even had presentations each day in which the performance could be anything, a skit, a musical, or even a quiz. There was always fun for me. But speeches, not so much. But it carried marks, and it was compulsory to come up there and speak in front of the whole school. Oh, the stage fright and the morning shivers. I hated it. And so did most of the students when high school came and we got more mature and rebellious with senior years. But now that I see, those speeches was a good thing to boost confidence, fight stage fright bravely, and helping me put my point across in front of so many people. Speaking up, and probably someone would make me believe if now that I can easily handle a room full of maybe 300 people, I owe that to my school. But only that, I don't. Not really. You see, the problem was marks. Everyone wanted to come up with serious, unusual topics to give speeches so that they could score. Kids used to cram so much, even the vocab they were speaking perfectly on stage, they totally didn't understand. And we were clapping. Honestly, most students like me in the audience didn't hear much of the speech either. We were talking while standing in the line at an arm distance or sleeping. Someone not understanding the whole topic giving speech like that was so unconvincing. How could that person grab my attention? Boring topics for all age groups? Sure, the small kids were throwing small rocks in the assembly ground. And yes, I found that black crow sitting on the second floor more appealing than hearing crammed words. Oh, but the teachers loved it, praised them extra, gave them marks, and मुझे लगा ओ सिर्फ इतना ही करना होता है क्या? Maybe I can do that. इंटरनेट और गूगल तो था नहीं तब, तो I went to the library or probably a senior lended me a speech on punctuality. And I was one of those unfortunate lords जिनसे रट्टा ही नहीं मारा जाता था. I had a hard time learning the whole speech, knew it in my heart that I was gonna speak on punctuality, but I wasn't punctual at all. At that age, not at all. Anyway, so I went up to the stage. Sure, the shivers were there, everyone's looking at me, and I was the center of attention. I don't know why, that felt powerful. It thrilled me more rather than scaring me. So I began to speak. And I did okay. At least I think I did okay for the first time. I could see some teachers were talking among themselves. Some students were zoning out. The prayer girls who used to be there on stage, to recite poems. Sorry, recite prayers, I mean. Prayer girls couldn't wait for it to be over. And I thought it really wasn't that hard to be up there on stage because it was my assumption people cared what I spoke. But in reality, it was just usual routine in the campus, hearing same old topics and nobody really paying attention. Now, why would I be scared to speak if nobody was even listening? Well, except for the teachers who were supposed to give marks, or maybe not even them. There was not much problem with me reading or speaking English. I didn't believe in carrying chits or paper in case I forgot. I never stuttered. Everything was right. The only wrong was my subject. I spoke on something I really didn't practice. Discipline, punctuality. This all was forced upon me from school. But out of school, in school bus even, we all know we weren't saints. I realized that when we speak something we have experienced or we practice in real life, that gives us power. Power and confidence comes from authenticity. It comes from within, not your audience. Because if we use the whole power, it will be unleashed on our audience and they'll listen anyhow. They'll have to. So from then on, I've always spoken what I believed in my heart, even now in the podcast. And yes, thank you so much for all the love on previous episodes. My friends who knew me could tell whatever I said came from experience and what I practiced myself. And I'm glad to receive and hear back such feedbacks. Thanks to you, each one of you who come and listen to my podcast. So, do you want to know what I chose to speak the next time I went on stage? We used to have those classmate notebooks जिसके पीछे facts होते थे, quizzes, puzzles, games, सब पहले से printed आता था. So I came across some fun and interesting facts on choosing to be vegetarian over non-vegetarian. And I thought these facts are so cool. I can turn it into a speech kinda or something and speak on my next turn in the morning assembly. So I did. That was the first time खुद की speech खुद लिखी English में कहीं और से नहीं छापी. And I was damn excited to put something inspired but also original out there. So when I said you'll be able to fit into your old jeans and how vegetarian food just adds so much color to your plate, it would be nice to eat rainbows rather than shades of pink and yellow in your non-veg plate. Some faculties gave me odd looks, but all I could care about was some children cracking smiles and grinning back at me from the audience. And I felt more powerful, even revolted. वो satisfaction होता है ना लीक से हटके कुछ करने का. I was fulfilled with that. Sure, the oldies didn't give me good scores. ये क्या कोई speech है? But oh, my day was made. Why? Because I tried something new. Something of my own, something I believed in, something that I felt happy in doing, something that didn't feel like a time waste, something that was different, and something that everyone in the audience listened to. No matter what you do, if someone doesn't want to like it, they won't. It's their problem. You just do you. Even if you can't cram, even if you're not choosing topics grown-ups believe are sensible, even if you're scared and stutter, you speak up for what you stand for. There was this girl I remember who spoke one line and then forgot everything she came to speak about. But she was trying to improvise on the spot, and I could tell she was like me who couldn't cram much and a topic I don't remember. But just because her studious reputation wasn't good, she was urged to get down from the stage. Now, I don't understand why people were so discouraging. Why being mean in school was so cool and badass. Of course, at that time for me, this was just another incident in school where a girl was made clone for. But now as I speak on this podcast, I wonder why out of all things I could remember from my school, I still remember this girl. She was just a classmate, not even a friend. But the unfairness is probably what brought this on. You see, our teachers wanted perfect. Nobody encouraged that girl to try some more. Mediocres were disliked worse than the students who didn't do anything and were at the bottom of the scoreboard. Crammed speeches were winning medals. But where was the appreciation given for trying? If this activity was introduced with an intention of helping students speak up and be more confident, then why were some mocked when they tried and failed? Teachers didn't hold their hands and made them step up again to try more. They only scolded more in person in front of the whole class, as if the humiliation one single time wasn't enough. This is all that happens, right? Wherever we go, they never see the ones who are trying, holding that last thread to not give up. Imagine if some encouragement was given to the little efforts students made, how it would have motivated them to go on. But there were rare good teachers too who cared. Like the one time we had this Hindi speech assignment. Generally we were told to speak so much of English that अगर हिंदी में बात भी कर ली ना तो फाइन ही लगा देते थे. So after that habit of speaking tutti frutti English and Hinglish, coming back to speeches in pure Hindi was a task. Listen, I tried and performed. 4 out of 10. I was ashamed, had tears in my eyes, my teacher stared at me, disapproved. But there was a hint of smile on her face, I still remember. I guess she saw something in me, some potential, I don't know what, but her words of encouragement did it for me. And there went the confident me from 7th standard in my next assignment, and boom, 10 on 10. I was happy, my teacher was proud, I had tears in my eyes, and I still heard, believe me, the claps of praises from that day in my head. I was just in 7th. I wish I had this level of wisdom at that time, but I'm also glad that I didn't. I wouldn't want to change anything. Experiences built us up. Those are just small instances when I was a child, but I still apply these realizations I keep having in my life. Listen, there is so much to be proud about if you're trying. Just only trying to get somewhere. Trust me, you'll get there. Keep trying. Everyone who have reached their goals have tried and didn't give up on their journey, and we are not supposed to compare ourselves with them. सबकी लाइफ की एक अलग टाइमिंग होती है. If you keep going, that's what matters. अपना टाइम आएगा. But I remember my favorite music composer Amal Malik saying this कि अपना टाइम अपन लाएगा. And I strongly believe it's on us. Work for it. अपना टाइम अपन ही लाएगा. Believe in yourself. Also cut yourself some slack. थोड़ा chill भी करो. I know 2020 has been very hard for us, all of us. And अभी नहीं भी समझ आ रहा है कि लाइफ में क्या चल रहा है. You say it's boring, there's not much happening. I say do something which brings you joy. A lot of my friends have started to do painting again or stitching, जिनके लिए उनको normal days में इतना time नहीं मिलता था. But this is the new normal, and we have time to learn something new or relearn something that we left behind. I know I keep saying hustle करो, भसड़ नहीं, but इतना भी work में डूब मत जाओ यार. Reconnect with that child inside you. Do something you love. Stay fit and breathe. And oh yes, happy Diwali and happy Children's Day. Keep that child in you alive. If there's someone you see trying his best around you, give him a smile or a hug. They'll feel better, and believe me, you will too. Here I say I'm proud of you for coming this far, for always trying and never giving up. Keep going. You got this. Shall we bring back the appreciation culture? You never know, one good sentence can save the day for someone who's upset over trying so much, putting so much efforts but never getting the results. Let's be the reason that someone, who's among us by the way, that someone tries one more time because of you and does not give up. Let's not just wait for the light and love to find us, but be that ourselves.
Sunbeaming into your life.
On that note, that's it for now. I'll see you guys soon. Take care. Lots of love.